Here we are, a band of storytellers, brand builders, and restless creatives, driven by a love for craftsmanship and obsessed with work that leaves a mark.
This is what you want your coffee to taste like.
We believe brands aren't just logos, they're lived experiences. So we're hitting the streets of Nashville to find the art, creativity, and business that's shaping culture from the ground up.
It smells so good in here.
Field Trip is an invitation to experience brands the way they're meant to be. We're here for the bold, the intentional, the unforgettable. This is Field Trip. Some streets are just shopping districts. 12 South isn't one of them. It's a living brand experiment. 12 South has become the address for brands that are making a statement. Not just selling, but situating themselves inside Nashville's evolving identity. And now, one of the most recognizable names in American menswear has planted its flag here. This is Todd Snyder. If you know his name, you know the reputation. A designer who built his career reinterpreting classic American style. A little bit of Iowa, a little bit of New York, always modern, always confident. And in Nashville, that DNA takes on a new layer. Every great store has a guide. Here at Todd Snyder Nashville, ours isn't just any stylist. He's my younger brother. How do you feel like because you have luxury specialty items too, like rare Rolexes. Mm-hmm. How is sometimes somebody can feel like, oh, I can't try that on. Or what's your approach to make them not feel bad for trying stuff on? Because I think that's what a lot of people feel in a lot of these luxury stores. Yeah. They can almost feel guilty for even just trying something on, not knowing if they're going to buy it or not.
Honestly, it's just like if they're looking at it, you open the case. You just give it to them, making it feel like, oh, like I can actually touch this. I can look at it. Of course, it's here for sale. You can be the customer, and it's honestly creating that relationship with them as they come back. Like, oh, he treated me really, really well.
Yeah.
I want to go back there to shop and buy my first watch or a 14 karat gold necklace or
So you're thinking about later on. You're thinking about I may not get that sale right now.
Yes. It's not about selling it right there and then, because then that's where it's more salesy, more pitchy and not organic. It's more about getting to know the person and then hey, let's take a look at it and then bring it out and just put it on your wrist.
A Nashville-based purveyor of antique and vintage pieces that gives the city some of its best warmth. And on the walls, local art, pieces that make the space feel less like a franchise and more like a home, rooted in the city's creative scene. Because this isn't just Todd Snyder in Nashville, it's Todd Snyder with Nashville. So, all right, you got to show me what is one of your favorites in these kind of this. Are these all one-of-a-kind pieces or vintage?
The hardware is vintage.
I mean, that belt
leather
is so cool. What's that belt, $1,500?
No, I think it's $1,000 maybe, or $800. But
out of here, what's your
The hardware is vintage.
Oh yeah.
But the leather is new.
That's cool. So they took
They found the pieces and they created to make a.
Is this in every Todd Snyder?
No. So so this whole case is founded by a company called Foundwell, and he sources all the vintage for Todd Snyder.
Okay.
And every Todd Snyder has something curated different for that store. So with Alan, he's the guy who owns the company, he curated a little bit more towards Nashville. So we have bolos, we have Western belts, we have turquoise, cuffs, Native American, really cool rings to layering necklaces and stuff like that. But that's cool. Every case is curated different to where they're at. So New York might have something different, where it's a New York pin or something like that.
That's cool. So it gives that regional, real kind of in the community, curated to that space that makes this retail experience again an experience versus shopping online. That's the difference, right? You're trying to create that experience because retail right now, why not buy it online? Why come into the store?
It's way easier to do it that way, but then it's just you're not getting that experience. You're not getting that whole vibe of a customer.
So then this one is oh god.
So Rolex Explorer with the black dial. Mm-hmm. That's my personal favorite, and then the
oh my god, dude, this is the dream
GMT.
Oh man.
Yeah, the patina GMT.
Yeah, the Pepsi GMT. Yep. And it's faded. So cool. Mm-hmm. That's what's cool about that Pepsi GMT. Yeah. Did you notice that it doesn't have?
Yeah, it's fully patinaed. Yeah, because the red's all worn off.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, if you want to talk with the watches with them, he knows a lot about watches.
So there's 30 of the black and olive dial, and then there's 30 of the white
and silver dial there.
That's so awesome for camera.
That is really cool.
So the reason why I like this GMT is the particular reference of this. I think it's a 16750 thing. But the reason why this red looks like this is not because it was worn heavy out in the sun. A lot of people get that sort of patina from wearing their watches all the time, right? This was a problem with the dye that they used for this particular red.
Wow.
And this is an aluminum insert right here, so a lot of them now are ceramic. The original was a bakelite, so it had like this kind of like I can't remember the exact reasons why they call it bakelite, but the original GMT you weren't able to turn the bezel, right? So with the new iterations you are now, but this is a aluminum, like I said before, not ceramic. So they had a difficulty with the dial and the aluminum. So the dial the die reacted in a particular way with the insert that it faded this fast over the course of a couple of years without it being in the sun or anything like that. So the person who's going to buy this watch, I think, is really going to buy it because they know that particular bit of history with this particular reference. Like, it's kind of hard to sell this to someone who's looking for a GMT,
right?
Because they want the red, right? They do, or they want the real faded patina where it's still red, but it's from like the late '60s or early '70s, whereas this is from the mid '90s. It's still awesome. But my favorite watch in here right now is this Patek.
We talked about that. We talked about this brand on our home team show, where we talked about you almost inherit these.
Yeah, you don't buy a Patek, you inherit it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like the whole purpose of them, and why their customer base is so not small but exclusive to people who are able to buy them through authorized dealers.
Yeah.
But this is a mid-70s Patek Calavatra in white gold with this blue dial, and this is what's called a pyramid bezel. You can see it kind of has that texture to it. What's very interesting about this is Andrew's heard this story all the time. When I talk to people, this is a very rare watch. You can find this Calatrava in yellow gold with a white dial. You can find that all day. Mid-90s, 80s, 70s. You can find it all day. You can even find it with a sub-dial that has, the seconds hand on it. You can find this watch with the same blue dial, but with a smooth white gold bezel. What you cannot find is this watch with this dial, these numerals, and this raised pyramid bezel in white gold. You cannot find it.
Yeah.
I spent 2 days, like the whole day, trying to find a comp for this exact watch, and you cannot find it.
That's what makes this store different. It's not a parachute drop of New York fashion into Tennessee. It's a conversation between brand and place, a statement that says, we see you, we respect you, and we're here to belong. For a designer who has dressed everyone from CEOs to rock stars, this is more than retail. It's a cultural translation, and it works.
The furniture is curated for the store, so every store has vintage furniture in it, so it's curated for the store to make it more unique, that much cooler in a way. You got to the rugs, to the chairs, to the original art that's in every store. They put in, and it's curated, so it makes it a little bit more warmer, a little bit more welcoming in a way. So it kind of feels like it would be like an old retail store, but modern today, like this day.
Todd Snyder's 12 South store isn't just another outpost. It's a case study in how great brands adapt, not by watering themselves down, but by listening, learning, and layering their DNA with the soul of the city they're in. Every rack, every piece of furniture, every frame on the wall is curated to create a feeling. Here, Nashville isn't an afterthought. Literally, from the Nashville edition field jacket, designed just for this market. All right, show me the Nashville jacket, the one that's specific for Nashville.
Dylan jacket. This is our #1 seller as a company. This style, this fit, what they did was a little bit more of like that older style jacket where it's kind of cropped so it hits right at the waistline. Perfect fit. This color is specifically for Nashville. They made an exclusive color for us called the ash brown. You have the Nashville edition on the inside with a little bit of a story, and the inside of the craftsmanship. It is just a beautifully suede trucker jacket.
Let's go.
Line sleeves so it doesn't catch anything.
Line sleeves they don't catch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on now.
Great. This cut is incredible. See what that
texture with just a little rivets, but this kind of high-low, different needle stitch gives it.
What's your connection to this? Like, did you design this? Did you, what was
Personal
your place?
connection, picked the fabric, designed it, picked the color, even though we're doing like a pretty classic off-white. But this is also like planning into a business. You're doing something that works the previous year.
Yeah.
So you're trying to find a new way to either keep it classic or reinvent it.
Okay.
This is something where like, we've ran this fabric before, but doing just a different color construction, maybe a little open, no button to give it different summer feel.
Yeah.
Just gives that fabric a new life. So.
And how long have you been working with Todd Snyder?
6 years, yeah. So I
years.
interned with Todd,
Okay.
coming out of university, and then I just have been with him since.
And what is your primary like role? What do you do day in and day out with them?
Primary role is designing cut and sew knits and collaborations. So
Okay.
working with the fabrics, working with the sketches, presenting to him and the team.
There's like, I remember right before this conversation, the notorious Todd Snyder Champion collab. You
Yeah.
had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, that was actually, so my senior collection in university was like a cut and sew knits tennis collection.
Okay.
And I think he saw that and said, we have a great Champion business, so that would be a nice fit for you kind
Okay.
of to grow into. So that was really nice because at the time Champion was booming for us,
Yeah.
and we had like a lot of programs. So for me,
Okay.
I got my hands in like a lot of jars.
Okay, and so how do you, when you think about Todd Snyder as a brand, how do you communicate what Todd Snyder brand is? Like how, when you're thinking about it to the outside, bringing people in to this brand, how do you articulate Todd Snyder as a brand?
I think it's a great all-in-one place for guys to shop like we sell it to, but in reality, I think it's giving a guy that dresses completely differently than, two guys can walk into the store and have two different styles, but I think if you give them basics that they can layer on and then expressive pieces to put on top of that, if they're that type of guy, I think anybody can wear this brand in a way that fits their style.
Okay.
I think the store employees have great style and they show how differently you can wear things, including the employees. If you go to our corporate, like in New York, we have girls and guys wearing clothes in totally different ways, and I think that says the most about the brand.
Okay. If you had to, in a nutshell, talk about your approach to creativity and brand, like what's the perspective, the point of view you carry towards some of the garments you do or other things that you do? Like, what's your point of view on things? How would you articulate how you look at it?
I would say one thing that separates us, because I know that we use the same fabrics and factories, even at brands that sell garments 3 times the cost, so I know our quality's there. But the craftsmanship, the small details that make somebody open it and say, that's finished completely, that's actually done to the most, not just you half-ass the inside.
Yeah.
And then thinking about something that a 25-year-old and a 52-year-old can wear.
Yeah, every stage of life is involved.
Every stage of life. And something that will live in their closet, because for a lot of people, it's a price jump from what they're maybe used to selling. It's not the cheapest clothes, but you're buying quality. So something that they're proud to live in their closet for a long time, I think that makes it like have a reason for being.
It's New York sophistication, Nashville soul, and exactly what makes 12 South one of the most fascinating streets in America for anyone who cares about design, culture, and the future of retail. This is Field Trip, and this is Todd Snyder Nashville.